right, we're going to take a look at problem number 18. So Scott Mason purchased a 4-unit apartment building as an investment before he retired. From the rent he collects each month, Scott pays out $600 for expenses. How much rent must he charge for each of the 4 apartments if he wants to make a $500 profit each month? The amount of rent is the same for each of the apartments. Okay, so let's make R equal to the amount of rent per month. So amount of rent, per month. Okay, then we know that there are 4 apartments. So the 4 apartments times the rent for each apartment minus the $600 of expenses has to equal his $500 desired profit. So then we just solve from here. Now to decide, it says how much rent must be charged. So we're trying to figure out the rent for each apartment. So that's why we wanted to do R. And then we just add 600 to each side. Equals 275. So then the rent for each of the 4 apartments is going to be $275 a month. And that's how you solve 18. Now we're going to take a look at problem number 29. 29. So you've been hired as an advertising manager for a newspaper. In the past, they contained 1/2 advertising and 1/2 news stories. But current industry research indicates the newspaper must have 3 times as much advertising as news stories to make money. So we would underline 3 times as much advertising as news stories. In addition, the advertising must be divided into the following ratio: 5 to 3 to 1. So retail to national to classified. The Chronicle is typically 48 pages in length. So this ratio is important, and 48 pages. How many pages should be advertising and how many should be news stories? So we already know that the number of news stories, so we've got news, and then we've got the number of I'm just going to do ad for advertising. So we have to have 3 times as much news or as much advertising as news stories. So if we do news is N, then the advertising has to be 3 times as much as that. So 3N. So this is for A. So this is part A. All right, so we have to know that when we add these 2 up, we get 48. So N plus 3N has to equal 48. And then you can just solve from here. So 4N equals 48. Divide each side by 4. N, the number of newspapers is 12. And then 3N, 3 times 12 is 36. So N is for the pages of news, and then 36 pages of ads. Ad pages. So that's for A. Okay, for B. Based on the industry ratios, how should the pages be divided among the three types of advertising? So they told us that it's 5 to 3 to 1, so you're always going to use the individual, the one that's alone, the one value in this case, as your starting point. So that means classified. So we're going to do C is classified. 3C is national. And 5C is retail. So then we know that when we add all of these up, these are all the different types of advertising, and there's 36 pages of advertising. So when we add these up, that should just be C plus 3C plus 5C equals 36. So if you solve that, you get C equals 4 pages of classified, 3C is 12 pages of national, and 5C is 20 pages of retail. Sorry, this is a little sloppy. I'm trying this new whiteboard thing online, and it's not the greatest. I might have to keep looking. So anyway, for B, it's 4 pages of classified, 12 pages of national, 20 pages of retail. Okay, let's take a look at C. Let me see if it'll let me erase this. Okay, let's continue on doing C. After you made the changes in the advertising distribution ratios, your newspaper began making a profit for the first time in years. If last year's total advertising revenue was $810,000, how much was earned by each type of advertising? So we know that we've got 800, so this is for C. We have 810,000. And we want to figure out the retail. Retail was 20 pages out of 36 pages. This is retail. I'm going to put R for retail. So when you multiply that together, so 20 pages of this 810,000 was retail, and when you multiply that, you get 450,000. And we do the same for the national and the same for the classified. So national, there was 12 out of 36 pages, and for classified, there was 4 out of 36. So national is 270,000. And then classified was 90,000. D says when you accepted the job of advertising manager, in addition to your salary, you were promised a 1/50th share of each year's revenue from retail and classified advertising and 1/75th share for national. So what bonus will you receive for last year's sales? So basically we're just going to take these numbers that we found here, 450,000, 270,000, 90,000, and we're going to multiply it times the amount of share that you get of that. So for retail, it says retail and classified, you get 1/50th, and then for national, you only get 1/75th. And then you just multiply that. So retail up here was 450,000. Retail, you got a $9,000 bonus. Classified was 90,000. Classified, you got an $1,800 bonus. And national was 270,000 and 3,600 bonus. And so then when we add those all together, that was your bonus, 14,400. Okay, now we're going to look at problem 30. So in a move to provide additional sales for U.S. car manufacturers, the White House announced the purchase of 17,600 new fuel-efficient vehicles for the federal fleet. The new fleet, which includes 2,500 hybrid sedans, will cost $285 million. As an accountant in the WHBO, you've been asked to calculate the following. A, if each hybrid vehicle will have an average cost of $24,000, what will be the average cost per non-hybrid vehicle? All right, so for this one, for 30A, we already know that they've got 2,500 hybrid sedans. And we know that each of those costs $24,000. We also have the total. So that it's all going to cost 280. We've got that, and we've got this piece. We also know the total number of new vehicles. So the way we're going to figure this out is we are going to take the total amount and subtract it from and subtract the cost of the hybrids. So 285 million. Okay, and we're going to subtract the cost of the hybrids. So there's 2,500 hybrids. Oops, 2,500. Okay. Times, each of them is 24,000. So let's just find this value first. So this equals 285,000,000 minus, it's 60 million. 60 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let me just do this math here. So there is 225 million. For the non-hybrids. Okay, so this is for, so this is what's left for non-hybrids. So if you take this amount, so 225 million for the non-hybrids, we've got to figure out how many non-hybrids we have left. So we're going to do 17,600 minus 2,500 and 15,100. So these are the non-hybrids. This right here. So all we have to do is take this $225 million, they're very large numbers, divided by those 15,100 non-hybrids, and you get a cost of $14,966 per non-hybrid vehicle. So that's the answer to A. Let's move on to B. Okay, so let's look at B. So it says, furthermore, the White House said that by replacing less efficient vehicles, the government will reduce gasoline consumption by 1.3 million gallons per year and prevent 26 million pounds of carbon dioxide from entering the atmosphere. On average, how many gallons of gasoline and how many pounds of carbon dioxide will be saved per year per vehicle? Round to the nearest whole gallon and whole pound. So all we have to do here, if G equals the gallons of gas, right? So gallons gas, and it's 1.3 million, and we know that we have 17,600 cars. All we have to do is divide the number of gallons by the number of cars. And we get G equals 73.8, which is about 74 gallons per vehicle. The other piece of this is the carbon dioxide. So we're going to do basically the exact same thing for carbon dioxide. So we're doing pounds of carbon dioxide, and it's 26 million. So 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by the number of cars again, 17,600. So you get 1,477.2, which is approximately 477 pounds per vehicle of carbon dioxide saved. And there you have it.